Hello! Oh, my camera is in the wrong place. That is more correct. If I make it big, yeah, that. Oh, camera good. Box Puppy, I did not. What is the new crowdfunding thing that Black Tabby Games is doing? I am interested. Alright, let me turn the audio up a little. Oh, for a poster of that. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I saw the image and I really, really liked it. Let me see if I can't get this visual on stream real quick. Nice upbeat thing to start the stream on, which is maybe weird for a stream of this nature, but let's see. Where is my thing? It is! It's so good! That's why I'm trying to figure out how to get it on stream. I think I have a thing for a browser thing. Also, I just realized I was just popping a poppet, so if you heard little poppy noises, that was not something wrong with my audio. That was me forgetting I'm not supposed to do that while I'm streaming, because it sounds like my audio is bad. Alright. But yes, this is the wonder, the glory that is the, spit this to the whole screen. That is the beach image. There's many things to like about it. You've got the whole cast. It really is just so yes. So there's so many things I enjoy here. I enjoy that, like, Avery, lover of plants, is partially covered in seaweed. I do think I love seeing the teens, at least the less hateful teens, in the background. Well, I mean, I guess Miles isn't really hateful. Becca is hateful, though. Wayne just sitting up there in the lifeguard coach, because why the heck not? Kanika, everyone's swimsuits suit them very well. Yes, it's funny that Rhys has the tail. Everyone's swimsuits suit them so well. Tabitha's old-timey that she probably just found somewhere in the manor is so funny. And, like, like Stella having the sporty swimsuit and Kanika having the pretty goth one, and etc. And like, wow. Okay, so sorry. I'm like, what is Rhys's mother's name? You know, it doesn't matter. But Rhys's mother in the background on the lawn chair. And my favorite part of this entire image... Okay, actually, it's hard to choose. I think my top 3 favorite bits are, like, Dustin in his little swim trunks. Oh my goodness, it's precious. I do love Tabitha in this, but, like, Dustin in his little swim trunks. And then the ditchlings in beach wear! I am so here for the ditchlings in... Joan, thank you, Box Puppy. But yes, I'm just so incredibly here for the ditchlings in their cute little swimwear. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. Oh, I just realized I was like, assuming that my cursor could be seen, and I just realized now that it wasn't. So let me do the point out things. We have Dustin here. Like, most of these things are things that are pretty easy to see, even if you couldn't see my cursor, but cute little Dustin. And these guys, the ditchlings! Look at it, look at its little hat! They're wearing, like, sunglasses and bathing suits. It's so cute. Yes. So, anyway, in summary, this is the best thing ever, and I am excited that they're hoping to make a poster of it. Surprise crowdfund for a poster. First 100 backers get a free sticker sheet. I'm sure I'm too late for that, but this is very exciting. So yes, here is a relevant get the pre-order. Yes, good, do the thing. All right. Thank you very much, Box Puppy. Hope folks don't mind too much. Well, I mean, right. Well, sorry, not sorry for derailing the stream. I am of the opinion it was worth the derailment. So, with that, all right, and now back into serious mode for the game. VOC content warnings. I think most people who would be watching me play this at episode 4 of like the second version of my third run. Anyway, in summary, I feel like most people who are going to be watching this video will be already familiar with Scarlet Hollow, so. But just in case, remember there's always a list of content warnings at blacktabbygames.com. So, with that, welcome back to the Karen run, where we see what happens when we are just kind of rude and entitled and mean to everyone. Which so far has resulted in very few people liking our lead, Karen. Which is exactly as it should be. Tabitha almost liked us, but I think I have dissuaded her of that. For nobody should like Karen. Karen is awful. And profile image. Wait, why is it up there? How weird. See her irritated profile image. Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically the most notable difference in the nobody likes you run is pretty much nobody likes you, and you get to see all sorts of funny faces. Like, there's a lot of exciting, unhappy faces that the main characters make. So, like, and also, like, did you know that you can get uninvited to sleep over at Stella's house on night 1? Like, absolutely. She'll say, oh yeah, you can stay over my house, and then, like, you'll just be broadly awful at her, and she'll be like, yeah, hope you'll be okay getting home on your own. And you can even ask, wait, but didn't you say I could stay here? And she'll just be like, yeah, sorry about that. So she's still super nice to you, but because I think she probably assumes that you're, like, Tabby, but, like, there are just some things she can't let, even Stella can't let slide. Kanika does a lot of glaring. I mean, it's easy to see what Tabitha looks like when she's prickly, so I'm sure everyone already knows that one. And this episode, I look forward to showing folks rage-filled Rosalina, because I've done some of this on my own, and, like, just, yeah, no, Rosalina, not a happy camper at this stage. Huh, that's weird. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out, there's something slightly odd about my... I felt like there was something slightly odd about my visual of my screen, but I actually think it's fine, and I'm not going to worry about it. And oh, also, everyone, there is now a hardcore mode, but I'm thinking I might actually play that, but it'll be after my Good Cousin run. I mean, kind of, Box Puppy, yeah, because, like, I gave her powerful build because it was one of the relatively few stats that didn't encourage people to, So there were a lot of stats I ruled out, like hot was just right out of the question because I didn't want people to like her. And like similarly, keen eye implies that you're a lot more empathetic than I want this character to be. Street smart would imply that she's better at being like selfish and entitled than she actually is. So like I kind of ruled it down to powerful build because muscles are fairly personality neutral, and mystical because I thought it would be kind of interesting to be like, oh yeah, she has all these mystical insights, and she's just like, nope, don't know what you're talking about, and like kind of pretending like it's not real. Which I think she will still be in denial about her own mystical insight, even if she's less in denial about supernatural things existing, because it's kind of hard to be after chapter 3. Yeah, I mean, Wayne likes her, because Wayne always likes your character, but like, she does not like Wayne. Also, specifically, she does not like anyone, except for Rhys. I have decided that Karen thinks that Rhys is dreamy. For reasons. And in my roleplay headcanon, those reasons largely revolve around she has uncritically read Twilight and thinks that... So, again, I've said this before, I have no objection to people liking Twilight, I just hope that they are reading it with the knowledge that that is not a healthy relationship. So for my headcanon, she does not read that with the understanding that it's an unhealthy relationship, and definitely going along the lines of, yes, a supernatural romance and problematic behaviors are totally normal, right? So, all that said, let's actually get this on the road. Get this show or game on the road, sure. Alright. So, load from here. I'm gonna skip the recap, but as I've done for previous chapters, I'm gonna go over the major decisions. So, on Monday, we refused boiled peanuts when offered, found an opossum living in my dresser, stole some of my cousin's ice cream extremely unsubtly. She loved that. Lost Gretchen in the woods and put her out of her misery. Yes, in fact, note that Karen has powerful build, but was so unheroic that she was like, eh. So, yeah, sorry, no, there's something that's bothering me slightly about the visual of my OBS, so... Well, let's finish this first and then I'll worry about it. It feels like it's getting partially cut off. And I want to address what's going on with that. So, just do this. Well, that's a good start. And I'll worry about the rest later. There we go. Alright, so, lost Gretchen in the woods and put her out of her misery, and one of the key things that made it impossible for Stella to actually like or fully sympathize with Karen was when, after Gretchen gets put down, Karen said to Stella, what's the big deal? She's just an animal. And that was what made Stella uninvite us, plus being kind of rude at Sybil and Kanika's. So yes, met Stella's friend Kanika and her mother Sybil and learned about ditchlings, and then returned to my cousin's estate before going to bed. On Tuesday, woke up in my cousin's guest room, found a sickly boot print in the garden, brushed off Avery when they asked you about last night, rode with Kanika to the mines, discovered what happened to Stella's parents. I figured I just had Karen ask some questions in that car ride because being nosy. Spoke to no miners during the investigation. Upon arriving at the mines, went straight to Tabitha's office, and was very rude to both Tabitha and about Stella and Kanika. Let's see. Warned Tabitha about the teens sneaking into the Shaw mines and waited for her before going in, which was largely for this character because Karen did not actually want to go in that cave at all. and then left Becca and Alexis behind in the mine collapse. Not for any good or responsible reasons, because I think there can be good reasons to leave Becca and Alexis behind. Like, you don't, in character, you don't know that, like, you would be able to get all three of them out without without all of you getting trapped in the mine and stuff like that. So there's plenty of, like, valid and legitimate reasons to leave Becca and Alexis as opposed to go back for everyone. And but none of those reasons are why Karen did it. Karen did it because she doesn't have an altruistic bone in her body. There was no way she would even consider risking herself to go back for some random kids she doesn't even know. So, that was Tuesday. And on Wednesday, finally took a shower, met Janie, the pastor's wife. Becca and Alexis are still buried in the mine collapse. Rescue efforts are ongoing. Ran into Duke and met Beau, his giant of a son. Oh, I forgot, actually, Duke and Beau do kind of like Karen, because she just hasn't really had the opportunity to be properly mean to them yet. So, they're just like, oh, you seem fine. I mean, spent some quality time with my cousin. One of these days she'll finally warm up to me is not a thing that this character would have written, because what actually happened, or the way I had candidate, was that Karen was just, like, so uninvested in the idea of hanging out with anyone else in this town that she just kind of went with Tabitha by default. And then they barely talked before just leaving. Met the mayor, dog. Met Scarlet Hollow's resident creepy pastor. Had dinner at Rhys's. There's something hidden in the clinic and it wants me to find it. Didn't invite anyone ghost hunting. Left the spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. in the library, because ain't no way that Karen would ever do self-sacrifice of any kind, and made plans with Sybil to talk about mysterious goings-on over tea tomorrow. Alright. Last night seemed so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. But you know that the furious spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the doors of the town hall, still tied to the earth by its hatred of you and your bloodline. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Kanika. Hey, have you heard from Stella? I haven't been able to get a hold of her. Thought she might have at least checked in with you. I don't know why Kanika thought that, but you check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let's see, what's the most I don't give a crap about this? Probably, I'm sure she's fine. Does Stella disappear like this sometimes, or I'm sure she's fine? I'm sure she's fine. Kanika. I don't know. I don't love the thought of her out there on her own with all the weird shit that's been happening in town. I know we haven't exactly gotten along, but we should meet up in town and look for her together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Although I will tell you right now, Karen does not want to. She will reluctantly get dragged along, but she really, really aggressively does not care about where Stella might be. But she does care about taking showers. Which I just totally skipped. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you... Think about finally being out of this hellhole and safe in your own bed. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. It's time to face your cousin. She's not here, but it looks like she left a note on the counter. Tabitha. Had to run. The librarian needed a new house, so I'm giving him the keys to the Maxwell place. And the miners decided to stage a strike today of all days, so I won't be around. I know there's no point in asking you not to do anything reckless, but I'm asking anyway. Be back late, call if you get into trouble. Tabitha. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Might as well eat something. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat? I mean, also just because Karen does not trust or like anyone and does not care to rely on other people for these things. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. It's time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. And look how many ditchlings there are. Let's play Spot the Ditchling again. So we got this guy. We got this guy. Oh, there's that too? There's two of them there. And then we have this one. And then we have this one up here. And this one back here. And this one over here. And I think that's all of them. Yeah. Alrighty. And there are none behind Karen's portrait, but let's just... No ditchling. Or behind my camera, but I'm not going to turn that on. Alrighty. And you might notice, no Avery. Karen has barely talked to them. So, there's no reason why they would care enough to get involved. Or even know what's going on enough to get involved. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. As you continue the trek to town, you pause to stare out at the mountain range beyond the holler, contemplating a world that's blissfully unaware of the danger threatening the citizens of this tiny town. The world outside feels less real with each passing day, as the strange reality of what's happening in Scarlet Hollow gently uproots what you'd always taken to be the truths of our world. Your everyday worries seem distant, overshadowed by a fear and dread that hasn't stopped building up since the moment you stepped off that bus. It isn't long until your journey from the estate is over, and you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Kanika. Hey, you made it. I still haven't heard from Stella, and I've already seen a bunch of those ditchling things scurrying around in broad daylight. I know my mom said they're harmless, but we should start looking for her. We could always just chill. I'm sure Stella will be fine. Yeah, okay, so Karen says, we could always just chill. I'm sure Stella will be fine. Kanika. No way, sorry. Any other week I would probably take you up on that, but not this week. Not after we narrowly escaped a mine collapse and got possessed by a ghost. Karen. So, ghosts, huh? Kanika. Yeah, ghosts. I don't know about you, but I'm currently staving off a massive existential crisis about the state of matter and what being alive means. I do like the powerful build option here, but it's not what Karen would say. Oh, man. Yeah, leave it at that. Karen. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. I should probably stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic vibe. A lot's happened in the past couple of days. Still, there will be plenty of time for tea after we've looked for Stella. Well, Karen doesn't want to be here, so she's not going to say anything. Kanika, we might as well start by checking her house. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Karen doesn't want to do any of this. But she probably assumes... Yeah, I think there are two things here that are worth doing just to be more of a jerk to everyone. So, Karen. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Very much rolling her eyes. Kanika. Definitely. I probably should have done that before getting you to come all the way down here, but to be honest, I was scared of wandering off by myself, just in case I ran into any other horrors from beyond the veil. It'd be great if this turns out to be nothing and she's just asleep in bed. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. Mystical. The interior is cold, and not just physically. There is an absence of joy and life that leaves only a chill behind. The ghost of an empty house, and the sobering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. Powerful build. You're protected. No, sorry, I'm not even gonna read that. Karen doesn't have protective instincts. Your instincts set in and the muscles in your arm tighten, your shoulders strengthening. If danger lurks ahead, you're ready for it. You step past the threshold and into Stella's house. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Kanika. Okay, nothing unusual so far. This is a perfectly normal living room. No blood or viscera, not even a tipped over lamp. That's good. Time to poke around Stella's bedroom and be invasive. That's one of the biggest reasons I have gone here. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. You go to check Stella's computer. Kanika. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? Let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, Karen. Okay, but what if she's been gossiping about us to her online friends? Kanika. That's not really Stella's vibe. Right? She wouldn't, right? Okay, I'm gonna pretend that you're joking and that you have a better reason to snoop on Stella's computer than seeing if she secretly gossips online about her friends. And I'm gonna stand over your shoulder the whole time and make sure you don't go looking for anything personal. No, Karen absolutely is like, who doesn't gossip about their friends behind their back? Because she's a very two-faced like that. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon, a sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hidden Appalachia. Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day, and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Bride of Bigfoot. Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Mothstan. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Lucky stars. Guys, since when did high-quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Gary 212, etc. Since every low-budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. Hidden Appalachia. I'm serious. I got a ton of extra footage. Look at this nest. They've been doing something to the animals in town, and they're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Mothstan. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Lucky stars. I believe you. Gary. Ugh, Lucky, you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day. Hidden Appalachia. Hey, okay, so 1, this isn't an ARG. I would never. And 2, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommyknockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommyknockersreal.wave. Gary. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Right of Bigfoot. 2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. Mothstan. YouTubers are always gonna sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Gary. Also, lol, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Lucky stars. Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Uncle Carl. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Kanika. Ouch. Check her search history. You check Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Aside from the expected searches for Tommyknockers and ditchlings, it looks like she's been playing a lot of Sarah McLachlan? That's that. Karen. This is a waste of time. Let's get out of here. Kanika. Phew. Good. Karen. This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts? Kanika. Yeah, nothing much to comment on. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. Aw, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. You turn to leave Stella's house. Kanika. Okay, so she's not here and we still have no idea where she is. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I thought she would have just been sleeping in or something. I can't believe she's actually missing. We're going to the cops. I know they probably won't actually do anything, but we should see if we can get them to start looking for her before we go anywhere else. I'm gonna say Karen doesn't actually say this, she just gets dragged along by Kanika and is like, alright, whatever. The degree to which Karen has gotten dragged around this week, she's probably just shrugged and given up and been like, well, if I don't, they'll come pester me, so fine. So I'm gonna say Karen probably said something more like, fine, let's go. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officer behind the desk. Duke. Now, listen here, officer. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon. I'm telling you, she was valuable property, not just some vegetable. Ugh, sorry, I'm trying to do Duke's voice without a rough sound in my throat, but it sounds wrong. Well, okay, the way I am hearing my own voice, it sounds a little off. But I think it's still better than killing my friend, so I'm gonna stick with it. But we worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from the seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. Deputy Franklin. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, gentlemen. Any property disputes will have to wait, if indeed there is a property dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal? Duke. I'm telling you, I know who stole her. That no-good bastard Julius Tremaine has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life. And you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. Bo. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. Franklin seems to turn to you as soon as you enter, though his impenetrable shades make it impossible to judge where he's really looking. Deputy Franklin. Well, well, Karen, we should lock you up for the stunt you pulled last night. Calling the emergency line as a joke is illegal. I guess I'll say this. Hey, I remember you from yesterday. You're the mayor's security guy. Deputy Franklin. I'm a man of many heads, and all of them give me authority over you, so you best watch yourself. Let's go with Karen. Where's everyone else? Deputy Franklin. Haven't you heard? There's a nasty strike going on at the mines. Miss Scarlet's asked us to try and bring the temperature down a bit. And I drew the short straw for being stuck on desk duty. Kanika. Bring the temperature down? I'm sorry, are Earl and Dennis working for the town? Or are they working for Tabitha? Deputy Franklin. I'd rather not get into it right now, Miss Forsythe. Now, is there something I can help you with, or did you just come to the station to chit-chat? You remain silent. Kanika. Wait, before we go, we just wanted to let you know none of us have seen Stella since she ran off last night. We're pretty sure she's missing. Deputy Franklin. A missing person? That sounds serious. I should have you file a report. Deputy Franklin makes his way back to his desk, pulling out a few forms before returning to the front and handing them to Kanika. Now hold on just a minute. You've been giving me the runaround all morning, but these folks walk in and you get them squared away just like that? Deputy Franklin. Mr. Calloway, this may be a matter of life and death. I'm afraid it takes precedence over a minor property dispute about a vegetable. You and I both know Stella's always tromping around out in them woods. It ain't something anyone needs to fuss over. Pardon my French, but this is some bull spit. Kanika hands the completed report back to Deputy Franklin. Deputy Franklin. Thank you, ma'am. I'll get this filed right away. Good luck out there. Bo. I hope Miss Richmond is alright and y'all find her soon. Duke. This department is biased, I swear. I'd almost say y'all were in league with Julius, but that would require at least some amount of competence. Deputy Franklin. Scarlet Hollow Police Department takes no sides in familial disputes. We are merely in pursuit of upholding the law. We do a damn fine job of it, Mr. Calloway. As you make your way back towards the door, the deputy calls out to you. Deputy Franklin. Best keep your nose clean out there, Karen. Try to stay out of trouble. Kanika. Well, at least we filed a report. Still, I guess finding Stella is going to be mostly up to us. Where to next? Oh, this is kind of a difficult call because on the one hand, Karen is still very uninvested in this and is like, she's probably just like they said, running around in the woods, and why are we even wasting our time on this? But on the other hand, if we go check in on Oscar and Rosalina, everyone will get to see Rosalina really angry. So we're going to do that. But I'm going to modify the dialogue for my own purposes very slightly, where Karen is instead going to be like, I guess we could check in on Oscar and Rosalina. They should be at the old Maxwell place. Tabitha dropped off the keys this morning. Kanika. The old Maxwell place? So Tabitha put them up in a broken down ruin that should have been bulldozed years ago? Your cousin is gonna get an earful next time I see her. Kanika storms off down the road, and you follow closely behind. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grab your attention. You turn to see a ditchling approach a cornered Pixel in an alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. The ditchling, distracted from its hunt by your arrival, cranes its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. Powerful build lets me punt it! Pastel berries, I'm afraid I do not actually know what you mean by that. There is, I mean, body horror in this, but... Anyway, I'm excited that Powerful Build lets me punt this, so I'm gonna try to kick the ditchling and see what happens. You take a deep breath and focus on the creature's body before propelling yourself towards it. Your foot connects with the ditchling's hide, leaving an imprint in its body as it crashes into the wall. It makes brief eye contact with you in the alley before both you and it turn to face a peculiar sight. Oh, speaking of body horror, ditchlings aren't really human, but there's still, like, some organs and stuff, and these dogs are about to, like, rip that ditchling apart, I'm pretty sure. Yep. A small pack of dogs pounce on the creature, pulling it from the wall and then taking turns biting and tearing at it until it's ripped to shreds. Their task complete, they saunter towards you. Kanika. What the? What are Daisy and Scraps doing out here? Are they leading some sort of ditchling hunting dog gang? Pixel timidly steps towards you. Kanika. Pixel, you got out of the library. Oh, you poor cat, come here. Pixel cautiously walks towards your group before clambering into your arms. He has a comfortable heft to him. I am imagining 1, Karen smirking slightly at Kanika, and 2, cats instinctively going towards people who are disaffected as a thing. Alrighty. Kanika. I see how it is. Everyone likes Karen, even the cats. Thanks, guys. The pack of dogs scampers off, their work done. You know, I don't think anyone should like Karen, but it is what it is. Kanika. What the hell is going on in this town? Pixel in tow, you and your companion continue on to the old Maxwell place. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home, and undoubtedly quite stylish for the time. But it's been abandoned for unknown decades, and moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealing cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Before you can approach, the door opens, and Oscar's head pokes out from the entryway. Oscar. Hello? Oh, sorry if I startled y'all. The walls here are worn down enough I could hear you coming from a block away. Oh, pastel berry. You know what? I totally forgot about that. I actually just, I mean, like, toilet humor. Like, I think I just said body because I was thinking spits, fart, humor that involves bodily fluids and bodily functions is what I meant by that. Just because it's just not my type of humor, and I am easily squicked out by it. So, that is the explanation behind that, but honestly, I wrote that a while ago. You know, I'll go in and I'll look if I can make the wording a little clearer, because I wrote that a while ago, and I don't even remember exactly what it says, obviously, from being confused by your first question. Kanika. Good morning, Oscar. Oscar. Thank goodness you found Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He's had a long night, and it shows, his graying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Oscar. Please, come on in. Rosalina. Pixel! He's okay! And already we have, no, because of the series of choices that Karen has made, Rosalina, quite rightfully, absolutely despises her. Rosalina rushes forward, taking Pixel from your arms and hugging him close to her chest. Kanika. How are you all holding up? Oscar. I'm doing alright. Rosalina is... Rosalina. I'm fine. Things could be worse. Oscar. It really isn't as run down as it looks, and it's got all kinds of weird little features, like an intercom and a jacuzzi. Well, good to hear pastel berries. Then hopefully we will have humor preferences in common. Though I must admit I do sometimes play Monster Prom, which has a lot of lines that I skip over. But the later games let me filter out certain types of things, like that kind of humor, so that's nice. Anyway, let's see. Oh, yes, Oscar. Of course, none of them are really usable in the state of the place. We've turned on the water and the pipes still work at the very least. Though I won't be drinking out of them until I've tested what comes out. Don't care. I'll say those things later. I do kind of want to say, Karen, did you say this place has a jacuzzi? Can I try it? Oscar. I don't think you want to bathe in whatever has been stuck in the pipes for the past 30 years. Rosalina. No, I think you should try it. Maybe the lead poisoning or whatever will shave off enough years of your life for the ghost to be satisfied and then we can go home. Oscar. Rosalina, I didn't raise you to say things like that. If you can't be civil, you should go to another room while the adults talk. Rosalina. I'll still be able to hear you. The walls in this house are more hole than wall. Kanika. I'm sorry, Rosalina. Rosalina. You don't have anything to be sorry about. You didn't leave Alexis to die, and you didn't make me and my dad live here. Those dumb Scarlets don't care about helping people. They just want to save their own skins. For this character, she's not wrong. That is the way that is intentionally the way I have been playing Karen. And therefore, Rosalina is 100% correct in her assessment. Nope. It's definitely gonna be like, oh, this one's good. Karen. It's so cool of my cousin to let you stay in this rad place for free. Oh my gosh, Kanika's face is so good. I mean, Rosalina's, super annoyed face is also pretty good. Kanika. Read the room, Karen. Oscar. It's, only free for a month, actually. Then she said we'd have to pay rent. Rosalina's glare intensifies. Rightly so. Oscar. But it doesn't matter. I don't intend for us to stay much longer than that. I'm going to get the library back, one way or another. I don't care what it takes. I'm not letting that creature get the last laugh. Rosalina. Sure, that went so great the first time. I've had it with the big talk. I'm going to my room. Let me know if you actually manage to accomplish anything, or if we'll have to move to some tent in the woods next. Rosalina storms off. As she leaves, Oscar's shoulders seem to unclench, attention leaving him as he sighs dejectedly. Oscar. Let's go outside and give her some space. Kanika. Oscar, before we get sidetracked, we're not just here to talk about what happened in the library. Oscar. Oh? Kanika. Stella's been missing since last night. Oscar. Oh. Kanika. You haven't seen her, right? Oscar. Not since last night. Kanika. Now I'm really starting to worry. It sounds like no one in town has seen her. Oscar. Before you go, though, there is something I wanted to get your thoughts on. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now, here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods, while entire buildings are taken over by supernatural creatures. Kanika. You think there was an inciting event, right? Oscar. I do. Kanika. That was my thought, too. It was never like this in the Hollow before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff. Oscar. Whatever the cause of this is, there must be some way to put this genie back in the bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are, unfortunately, in the library. Rosalina had been pestering me to make some sort of digital backup for months, but I never got around to it. So, online sources it is. Kanika. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. Okay, this is sufficiently annoying person enough, like potentially annoying enough to say that I'll go for it, but other than that, Karen is not really going to volunteer information. Karen. I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today. Kanika. I know we've been over this, but I still think you're barking up the wrong tree. Why would my mom hide anything from us? Oscar. She has always had a strange air about her, hasn't she? I'd be interested to know exactly what she intends to discuss with you, Karen. I have a feeling she has more than tea to offer. You're done here. You start to make your way... Oh, whoops, that is definitely the correct line. Minor bug. You start to make your way away from the peaceful place. Kanika. Oh, looks like we're headed back out. Bye, Oscar! And let us know if you find anything. Oscar. I will. We're going to get the library back, and we're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. Kanika. So, that's Oscar. Any other ideas? I think the last thing Karen is gonna do is to suggest they go to the mines. But not because she actually wants to help look for Stella, so much as because she wants to rubberneck at the strike. She wants. Because she feels like that sort. Anyway. Don't mind me just filling in the elaborate RP headcanons for this character. Of all of the characters I have been playing, like, this character is the least like me, so thus it is all kind of coming from an elaborate headcanon of the character's personality, which the game often works within, which was the whole point of me doing this run, because there's just so many opportunities to be just incredibly rude to people. So yes, I'm gonna suggest we go to the mines, and that'll be the last thing on this list that I'm gonna actually do today. Karen. We should go to the mines. Kanika. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but it's definitely something she would do. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. A wall of bodies, picket signs, and megaphones in hand forms a human barricade around the entrance to the Scarlet Mines. Kanika. Is this a strike? They're striking? It's time Tabitha stopped taking her workforce for granted. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Davis. Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin. You might have had us fooled the other day, but word gets around fast. Karen. Shouldn't you be digging those kids out of the mine? Smith narrows his eyes at you. Smith. Shouldn't you be lounging around in your family's castle, not out here bothering working folks? Davis. There's a team digging them out. We're taking shifts. We may be striking, but that just means we're not making the boss any money. Not that we won't do everything we can for kids who need us. Let's see. I'm just trying to decide if any of these are worth poking at. It might be interesting to go to the dig site. Karen. Can we visit the dig site? Davis. No way. There is a ton of dangerous equipment there, and the men working to rescue those kids don't need any more distractions. Smith. It's bad enough having parents breathing down our necks. They're making the job that much harder. Davis. They have every right to be at the dig site, but that one woman. Kanika. Becca's mom. Davis. Yeah, they're being hassled enough as it is. Karen. I need to talk to Tabitha. Davis. So, you're saying you want to cross a picket line? Hey, Hugby, are you just gonna let them block me from going inside? I love that because I not love that, but I have only chosen that because I was pretty sure it would get Kanika to make that face, and that is correct for this character. Sheriff Hugby. Of course not. It's a free country, and this mine's your cousin's private property. Smith. Whose side are you on, Hugby? Sheriff Hugby. Town's, of course. And I'll have you know that Miss Scarlet's exercising quite a bit of restraint right now. It's well within her rights to have us escort you all off her private property. Deputy Derrickson. Go ahead and see your cousin. Kanika. Well, I'm not crossing a picket line, and besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll just wait by the van while you go talk to her. See you on the other side. It's quiet today. Empty beyond the ruckus at the front gate. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill. I don't know if I can visit the dig site and do things here, but it does say explore, which makes me think I probably can, because basically I am playing this first half of Chapter 4 in the mindset of this is the last current this is the last episode currently out. Therefore, my last opportunity, for now, this will be the last segment of this, and basically the whole point of this is to see what happens when you be mean to people, and when people don't like you, and therefore I should be mean to as many people as possible. That is my logic. But after this, I do want to reiterate, I will be following up this playthrough with a much, much nicer one. So, if this has been a bit much and you don't want to keep watching it, like, look forward to my playthrough wherein my character will be a good person and also the best cousin. So, yeah, I'm gonna just save here really quick so that I can go back if this doesn't work out, but I want to see if I can visit the dig site. Now that you're inside, you're free to examine the dig site. Like, Karen just wants to be nosy. The dig site is busy. Massive drills bore into the earth as parents and residents tensely wait for any sign of progress. Becca's mom. You there! You were with Tabitha Scarlet yesterday. You're her long-lost sibling or something, right? Whatever you are, I need you to march into her office and tell her to come out now. Alexis's family and I have been out here since yesterday morning. My child is down there, and Miss Scarlet has barely even made an appearance since she stood around doing nothing yesterday. Guess she's too busy hiding from her own workforce to come out here and let us parents know when our children might be rescued. Yeah, I can't decide. Okay, so the two choices I'm trying to decide between here are, please don't yell at me, I have nothing to do with this, or get off my cousin's back. We tried to drag those kids out of the mine the other night, and they decided it was a good idea to run off. Because these other things are like, definitely not gonna apologize. Yeah, let's go with that one. Karen, please don't yell at me. I have nothing to do with this. Becca's mom. I have every right to be yelling right now. My Rebecca is trapped underground with no food or water and who knows how much oxygen. The mine could be filled with deadly gas. I have no idea. All I know is Tabitha should be here, overseeing this rescue and letting us know what's happening every step of the way. Becca's dad. I'm telling you, Nancy, the fellas on the rig are giving us the updates as they come in. There's nothing Miss Scarlet could tell us that they don't already know. I know you want to give her what for, but that's not going to change what's going on up here. Becca's mom. Even my own husband is too scared of this woman to stand up for our family. Karen. It's Becca's fault she's stuck down there right now, you know? Becca's dad. What kind of heartless person says that about a 15-year-old girl trapped in a mine? You know, some of these are tempting to say not just because I'm trying to be mean, but because it's like, Becca's parents are kind of terrible. Like, I am, like... I don't think it's what Karen would say, but actually Becca's dad, wasn't it you who told her it was safe to go down there in the first place? I'm kind of curious what he'd answer there, but... I'll just poke at that some other time. Maybe I will save it as a quick save. But yeah. Karen. I'm serious. I was there. Becca is the reason they were down there. She put her friends in danger for fun. Becca's mom. You and Tabitha really are related, aren't you? Heartless to your core. That's my daughter you're talking about. Becca's dad. As if it even matters whose idea it was to go down there. It doesn't change the fact that there are 2 kids down there whose parents are worried sick about them. None of us have gone home or had any proper sleep since we got here Tuesday night. Take your disrespectful ass elsewhere. Becca's mom turns and leaves. Alright, I feel like I have done a good job doing the absolute opposite of ingratiating Karen to everyone here. Making sure she is as universally disliked as possible. You leave the dig site and make your way back to Tabitha's office. Make your way back. Enter without knocking. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and open the door. Rodriguez. I think I can turn at least a few of the guys, and if you fire Davis... Tabitha. Oh my god, have you heard of knocking? What are you even doing up here? Rodriguez. Should I go? Tabitha. Yeah, and make sure no one sees you. No one else, at least. Oh man, there's so many options here. Nope, nope. Nope. Tempting. I'm not sure she'd say it like that. Definitely not. Probably not. So, do we do what were you two talking about? Or do we do just claim to be telling? Yeah, you know what? This seems like the option that will get me the character into the most trouble, so... Karen. I'm telling. Tabitha. Karen, I swear to God. Rodriguez. Does this change the plan at all? Tabitha. No, nothing changes. My cousin is a non-factor. I'll deal with her. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. The instant you're alone, Tabitha rounds on you. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours, eyes full of rage, her words a frustrated hiss. I'm gonna go for powerful build. Shove her off of you. Powerful build. With everything that's happened this week, the last thing you need is Tabitha yelling in your face. You don't have to take this from her. You grab her hand and push her off of you. She's surprisingly strong for her size, but she's still quite a bit weaker than you. She dusts herself off as she regains her footing. Tabitha. Listen to me, Karen. Really listen. This isn't just some fun little game, okay? This is my life, and if you value yours, you'll keep quiet about what you just saw. I don't care if we're family. I can make the rest of your stay here a living hell if you cross me. Tossing me around my office doesn't change that. I've been pushed to the brink this week. I can't have anything else go wrong. Nope. 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 Yeah, nope, I'm gonna do this. Not because Karen thinks this, really, but because Karen wants to make Tabitha feel bad. Is, I think, the logic behind this. Karen. I'm glad you're having such a hard time. The Scarlets are finally getting what they deserve. Tabitha. You're a Scarlet too, you know? Now get out of my office! Tabitha opens the door, motioning for you to leave. Leave, but sneer smugly as you do so. You sneer at your cousin, mocking her. Tabitha. You disgust me! Don't come up here again! She slams the door behind you. You find Kanika waiting for you outside. Kanika. You don't look like you found any new leads. You look back at the striking miners. I can't decide if Karen would tell them just to snub Tabitha because they just got in a fight and she's pissy, or if she's like, no, the miners don't deserve that. But no, I think the thing that's making me hesitate is I'm like, this has really let me go like 100% Karen, and it's a little much. Oh my gosh, Box Puppy. Let's pull up the recap. So we got super angry Tabitha. I don't know if you've ever seen going into Tabitha's office and having her be super mad at you. But then with Powerful Build, Karen was able to shove her off, and then she did her threaten, if you so much as dare tell anyone about this, your life will be a living hell. And then Karen said something spiteful, and Tabitha said something spiteful, and I literally chose the you sneer at your cousin, mocking her on your way out. And this is... So yeah, nope, this chapter is just letting me go full asshole. I am really gonna need the good cousin run after this. This feels awful. Like, for the record, I'm doing this because I think it is interesting, and I'm doing it on stream because I want people to be able to watch this if they don't want to play it for themselves. But I am gonna say, just having I'm gonna give myself a moment to say, this feels awful. I don't like playing mean characters. I have reasons why I've chosen to do this run, but jeez. And you know what? That said, I am committed to the bit, and I think Karen's motivations are spite and pettiness, and I think she will tell just because Tabitha told her not to. Even if it makes Kanika like her more. Karen. Hey Davis, Rodriguez is trying to get Tabitha to fire you to break the strike. Smith. That little rat. Davis. We'll figure out what to do with him later. In the meantime, we should get a rundown of who he's been talking to. See if we need to shore up any loose links. Thanks for letting us know. It's appreciated. Kanika. Whoa, I didn't expect you to share something like that. Normally I'm not a fan of snitches, but snitching on a snitch seems like fair game to me. It feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. So yeah, I stand by that. I think Karen did it not because she thought it was a good thing to do, but because it was, like, just purely out of spite. And if Kanika likes her more for it, well, I don't honestly think Karen cares one way or the other. Kanika. Where to next? Definitely Karen does not care, and I think won't care about the diner either. So I guess we'll skip ahead to Karen. I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today? Maybe she'll have some ideas. Kanika. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the two of you enter. Sybil. Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, Karen. I hope you're sufficiently recovered from last night's fiasco. Kanika. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and Sybil. Stella can take care of herself. Unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. Kanika. I thought you had some kind of an important thing to talk to Karen about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to her. Sybil. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Kanika. Silence. Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Karen. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Mystical. There's something off here. It's as if Kanika's spirit dimmed at Sybil's words. Sybil. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. Yeah, I kind of want to know. Karen. What did you do to Kanika? Sybil. Do? It almost sounds like you're accusing me of something. The only thing I did was tell her she should rest, as any mother would, and she listened, as any child would. I'm allergic to tea. Run away. That's kind of amazing. Yeah, no, I mean, this is both legit. Like, this isn't just a Karen thing, it's also just legitimate, I think, at this point, to not trust Sybil. But, like, yeah, no, Karen is very FU at this point. Like, on the one hand, she likes to be in denial about her mystical abilities. On the other hand, she did just go through a haunting last night, and then she just got a really, really weird bad vibe here. And the last time she got a really weird bad vibe, actually the last 3 times she got a weird bad vibe, there was a haunting, a mind collapse, and, like, someone, and like, the dog died. So she's gonna just be like, I have learned at least that if I get a sense of bad juju, I should just not go near it. So, no way am I spending any... So yes, Karen. No way am I spending any time alone with you. I don't trust you. Sybil. I'm sorry to hear that. I won't stop you if you'd rather leave, but I hope I can regain your trust somehow. Fun fact, Karen just didn't feel like the sort who would... You know, Karen never went to the diner, not even once. So, funnily enough, I don't think she's ever drank a single sip of Sybil's tea. So Kanika does not like your cousin, like really actively dislikes her and thinks that she's a bad person. Therefore, when you do things that are kind of in opposition to your cousin, it makes Kanika go, oh, maybe you're better than your cousin. Like, although my headcanon is that Karen only told the other miners about the strikebreaker out of spite, like, from the outside, if you don't know that she did it, like, you know, that's just my headcanon for this for this run. Like, from Kanika's perspective, it's like, oh, you did a good deed. You snitched on the snitch to make the strike better. Because she is totally supportive of the strike. And thinks that this is something that Tabitha deserves to have happen to her. Which I personally, as a player, have mixed feelings about. Like, on the one hand, like, yeah, the workers deserve to strike. On the other hand, it was really Tabitha's mother who caused the mine to be as awful as it is, so it's kind of... It sucks that Tabitha has to deal with all of this, especially at the same time she's dealing with her mother's death, but... I don't know, at the same time, like, the workers are being treated pretty unreasonably, so... Hence, I, the player, also am generally supportive of unions, and think that probably it would be to people's benefit to unionize. I think some of Tabitha's bad practices were taught to her by her mother, and she's never had anything to contradict that, so it just doesn't occur to her that those might be bad ways to run a place. So, that's my opinion as a player. But the character I'm playing right now doesn't care about any of that. You leave the general store and return to Main Street. As you breathe in the late afternoon air, you're hit by a sudden flash of memory. Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You didn't even notice yourself retracing your steps from yesterday, but here you are, that old building looming over you, begging to be explored. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her here. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Powerful build. It wouldn't be hard to jump onto the terrace from the hill next to the house. Yeah, no. Karen is like, let's do that. You make your way up the hill and survey the terrace. This should be easy. You take a step back and jump. You land and try the door. It's unlocked. The upstairs of the clinic feels like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets, and a thick layer of dust coats the floor. This place hasn't seen any use in years. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. Mystical. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You're here now, and it knows you're here, and you know exactly what it is. Another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Rhys. Karen? What are you doing in the morgue? Yes, so I've already established this is the one place that Karen is actually going to be, quote unquote nice, because she's actually going to be flirting hard because she thinks Rhys is dreamy. And also pastel berries. I would love it if... I think that there is hope for Kanika and Tabitha to reconcile by the end of the series, but I think it will depend heavily on, the choices that the player makes. For example, in Chapter 3, if you have made certain choices that have made Tabitha, really, really like you, she might choose to sacrifice herself in the crucial choice of Chapter 3, which is probably how I'm going to play it out for my next run, actually. And that is one of the biggest things that will make Kanika really start turning around on, like, oh hey, maybe Tabitha is a better person than I thought she was. And I feel like that is the route that has the most potential for Kanika liking Tabitha, ever coming around to liking Tabitha. So yes, I do think it is a possibility, but at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so Karen is going to spend most of this next section, like, blatantly flirting. Karen. Hi. Rhys. Hey. Sorry, this must look kind of weird. I promise I'm not secretly dead already or something. Sometimes I just come down here to practice. Rehearse. Karen. Yes, this is a very Karen line, although it's also a monster lover line, and there ain't nothing wrong if that is your thing in fiction. But, like, in my mind, Karen is a monster lover, but in a way that is problematic. Karen. If you are a living corpse, that wouldn't be a deal breaker. Rhys. That's good to know. I'm still not, but I'm glad I haven't managed to scare you off. It's not often I get to meet new people. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Rhys. Hey, are you okay? You feel Rhys's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its hold on you. Rhys, you kind of looked possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Mystical. Use your words. Don't let this fervor consume you. Be present in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body storage drawers is labeled Pearland Scarlet. I don't think Karen actually wants to see Pearland's body. But I think she will properly explain herself to Rhys. Karen. The mines had a stone carving the other night, as did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions, and I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. Rhys glances back at the wall. Rhys, you're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of our hair. It should take 2 seconds. You know what? I like this. Powerful build. Karen. Why use an axe when I have arms? Why not just break the wall with... I mean, okay, this is implying that you're still in the pole, but I'm going to read it normally on the assumption that Mystical is actually helping to counteract this. Why not just break the wall with my fist? Rhys. I'm not an expert, but I'm guessing it would be more efficient for you to use those big arms to wield an axe instead of tearing into the wall like some kind of wild animal. Though, that would be super cool to see. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Rhys. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Dr. Kelly. Rhys, I didn't know you were awake. Rhys. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Dr. Kelly. Really? I thought I'd just picked some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice. And some ginger ale, too. Rhys. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. Dr. Kelly. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Rhys. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, and then the front door open and close. Rhys. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Rhys. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. Oof, I might need to... I should probably go refill my water, but I'm like, I only have like 20 minutes left before I have to sign off, and I want to see if I can get through everything, so I will push it. My throat will suffer slightly, but I will be fine. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. Rhys. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she'd be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doctor's office first. Or actually, no, he says the doc's office. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. Rhys. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but a stack of papers and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records, with your family's name on them. Honestly, I don't think Karen cares enough. You turn around and leave the office as it was. Whatever those records were, they weren't an axe, and you don't want to waste time looking through them when the carving awaits. Rhys. The medical supply room is probably a good bet. A fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. It's just down the hall. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops, as if listening to something that you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door of the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. Rhys. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. You make space, and he slips in next to you, closing the closet door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way down the hallway. Rhys. We'd better wait a second, just in case. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. Rhys. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Rhys quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. You watch while he rifles through drawers, content to let him figure it out. Soon, there's a jingling of keys, and he turns to you, victorious. Rhys. There we go. They're even color-coded. She made this too easy. Rhys pauses to look at the plant on the table. It was weird of her to drop that off, right? Why would she put some alien-looking fruit in the supply room? She's not a pharmacist. She's not supposed to make her own medicine. This room is for storing stuff she orders from an actual pharmacist. And I doubt it's decorative. We can always eat it and see what it does. That's a terrible plan, don't do that. But yeah, Karen. Let's take it with us and look it up later. Rhys. Yeah, we're on the clock. Don't want to get caught in here. He shoves a berry from the weird plant into his pocket. I'll meet you down there. I've got to come up with something to cover for the noise. He hands you the axe, and you make your way back down the hallway towards the morgue. You follow Rhys's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. Dr. Kelly. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Rhys. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. Dr. Kelly. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Rhys. Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Dr. Kelly. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close and the sound of Rhys descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Rhys. Hey. Karen. Let's do this. Rhys. Have at it. You approach the far end of the morgue, practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. Powerful build. It's like cutting through butter. You were right. You could have torn through it with your bare hands. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and to admire your effort. Rhys. Holy shit. The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Rhys coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. Rhys. There's a whole hallway back here. Thick, stale air leaks from the morgue, filling the morgue with an earthy, mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. Rhys. This is wild! I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. You just step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to solid. Tear into it. Intermittent. Enoch, I thought you weren't gonna come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing I can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I gonna do? Enoch. Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I've found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. Teddy. A witch? But that's nonsense. Enoch. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today. Everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Alright, I am gonna refill my water. Sorry. I'll take a second and try to get it back to at least having some... Oh, I'm gonna keep going, hopefully to the end of this episode, for today, but, the next time I will be streaming will be next week, but, like, I've still got more of this stream to go. Also, I have a schedule up, which is mostly accurate, but yes, so my next time I will be doing Scarlet Hollow should be next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and I do other streams on Fridays. That's pretty much it for me, but I will be right back. I am not done with this game yet. Or this stream. Hydration is important. So yes, alright, I'm gonna try to push it through. So I actually think the rest of the chapter is not going to take long for reasons. So I'm gonna try to push through to finish today, but let me just check. Yep, should still be good so far. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Rhys leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Rhys. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down the wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some sort of seizure. Are you okay? Karen. Wait, nothing spooky happened? That mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? Rhys. No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. It was a few hours ago. Karen. Great! Glad I'll have at least one mostly normal day this week. Rhys. Too bad. With your track record, I was kind of hoping we'd run into some unimaginable horrors. At least I know there's an abandoned hospital wing in the morgue. I'm sure there's plenty in there to get creeped out by. Karen. So, what now? Rhys. We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The dock is on the warpath up there. I refused to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here, and now we just have to wait her out. Karen. Let's find a distraction until it's safe to leave. Definitely thinking, it's me, I can be the distraction. Rhys. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. Karen. You could always draw me. Rhys. If you're sure you're okay with sitting for a portrait, I'd love to draw you. There's a quality to drawing that's almost like catching memories, as sappy as that probably sounds. But this can be a sort of snapshot of the night my life turned around. It's definitely a memory worth holding on to. I'll get you a chair. He excitedly hurries across the room, pulling up a couple chairs. You can see the difference in his energy now that he hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's more talkative, less slouched, his long limbs no longer perpetually tucked at his sides. Rhys. May I touch your face? Do. Karen. Please do. He places a gentle hand on your jaw, tilting your head slightly to the side. And just in case anyone has considered doing the Rhys romance but hasn't yet, visual for you. I mean, pastel berries, I think it super depends. Like, Kanika is one of the romance options, but like, she only is a romance option if she likes you enough. So I honestly think in a run where she does not like the player very much, there's not really a romance, there's not really anything for her to feel jealous of. So in this run, I think Kanika would be totally neutral about it. There are other runs, though, I can see her being kind of a little jealous. Oh, hi, Tapao! Thank you for resubscribing! We have neared the very end of the chapter. This is the run with although Karen is awful, the only person she is nice to is Rhys, as this is the run where I'm romancing Rhys, so that's what's happening here. I don't know if you've seen T'Pau this scene before. This is, if you flirtatiously ask Rhys to draw you. So yes, he places a gentle hand on your jaw, tilting your head slightly to the side. And yes, T'Pau it is. His fingertips are warm on your cheek, the sensation of their light touch lingering on your skin as he pulls away. Rhys. Perfect. He pauses for a moment, his eyes locking with yours, a palpable tension filling the room. Let him start drawing. Rhys. Thanks for doing this. You have no idea how long it's been since I was able to have someone sit for me. I think it's been since high school, probably. Oh, pastel berries. I'm sorry, I totally missed the implication of what you're saying. You know, actually, I never got the vibe that... No, I could see it. I had not... It just didn't even occur to me because I'd never picked up a vibe that Kanika had feelings for Rhys. I've vaguely gotten the vibe that she might kind of be into Oscar, actually, which might have prevented me from it from occurring to me. But she's really into his art, and has if you follow dialogue options, you find out she has a piece of his art that she even took to college with her. So yeah, now that you mention it, this is kind of blowing my mind. I don't know why I never thought of it, but I could totally see Kanika kind of having feelings for Rhys. So yeah, I would guess that she would have mixed feelings about this. And the reason I think mixed feelings is because even if she has a crush on Rhys, I also think she'd be happy for him. Getting out more, being, relationshipy with some, even if it was with someone else, I think she'd be happy that he was getting to live his life more. So my official stance on that is mixed feelings. Anyways, Rhys. Thanks for doing this. You have no idea how long it's been since I was able to have somebody sit for me. I think it's been since high school, probably. He starts sketching. The scraping of the graphite is quick and controlled, long lines sweeping across the paper. He pauses for a brief moment, glancing away in thought. Rhys, I wanted to draw you since we met yesterday. You have such striking bone structure. It makes for a truly unique face. I hope I can capture it. This is kind of funny with the Karen portrait I have up here. I mean, sure, she does have somewhat striking features. He glances up at you every couple seconds, the pencil still moving as he focuses his intense gaze on you. Rhys, this is so much easier than usual. Sometimes getting the basic forms down can feel like pushing through mud, but this is like breathing. It's just flowing out. He continues scratching out your portrait, the sound of pencil on paper louder and bolder as his strokes gain confidence. Rhys, I just can't believe I let this go on for so long, that I never questioned her. That I so readily accepted the lines she gave me about my years being numbered and my illness being some bizarre mystery genetic thing that no other doctors could solve. I know it's hard to see when you're in the thick of it, but I was just so naive, and who knows what lasting damage she's managed to do to me. Oh, thank you, Pastel Berries, for the follow. You realize it isn't confidence that's deepening the lines on the paper. It's anger, frustration. You know what? I'm gonna go with this one, Karen. Yes, get angry. You have every right to that anger. Rhys, you're right. She's taken so much from me. And I'm not out of danger yet, either. I'm still down here. The pencil snaps. Rhys, oh no, I'm sorry. I must be acting strange. I feel strange. Do my nails look longer to you? There's a knock at the window. Wayne.
Karen, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home.
Rhys. That voice! I know that voice! Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Rhys. Good luck, freak! That glass is shatterproof! Enemies upstairs, enemy is outside, we're surrounded! Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe, you won't be safe! Karen. I think you might be overreacting? Rhys. That's only because you don't know what kind of danger you're in. I know what it's like to have my life stolen by someone else. It destroys you in every way. But I'm not weak anymore. No more cowering. If someone tries to hurt me, I should hurt them back. And I can do the same for you, Karen. We're in this together. The window shatters. As Rhys tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Wayne.
Grab my hand. I'll pull you out.
Rhys.
Leave us alone!
In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Rhys finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne no longer. I don't think Karen is scared. I think Karen is like, oh no, he's hot. I think there, like, again, I will say again, I don't think there was anything wrong with people who love fictional monsters. Monster lovers are okay. It just happens to be that Karen is one of them. Yeah, trip for mystical and denial, Karen, too. You're not wrong, but no, I have a very clear idea of where this is going to go. So first, she's gonna stay where she is. Rhys.
We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the dog.
Rhys storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. She's like... So yes, I think Karen's stance here is like, I see nothing wrong here. He's kind of dreamy. He's everything I ever dreamed. He's the supernatural boy of my dreams. And everything he said has said that he'll protect me. Why would I do anything in this situation? Rhys said you should stay here. So you will. There are a few moments of silence. It's interrupted by some kind of percussive sound, like a quiet gunshot. You hear heavy, stumbling footsteps. Then Dr. Kelly screams. It cuts out, interrupted. You can only imagine why. The silence returns. Yeah, Box Puppy, exactly that. Also, I just want to say, there is an achievement you get for making this choice. It is called Obedient. And it has, like, monstrous hands tilted under a chin, kind of like this. And that was what made me decide. That was what gave me Twilight vibes, and that was what made me decide that Karen was into Rhys. It was very much all in anticipation of her just doing what she's told and staying in the basement. Then, footsteps on the stairs down to the basement. Rhys.
It's done. She's not a problem anymore.
Powerful build, you can just punch. I'm obviously not going to do that. Karen. Did you know what you really were? Rhys.
What do you mean? I'm human. I'm pretty sure I'm human. I don't think humans could do what I just did, so maybe I'm something else. Do I look different?
Romance. Karen. You're beautiful. Rhys.
I do feel more like myself. Comfortable for the first time I can remember. And as long as you like the way I am, I don't care how I might look to anyone else.
He reaches out a clawed hand. It brushes your cheek, and you can feel the long streak of blood that it leaves on your face. The metallic smell lingering, even as his blood-soaked hand returns to his side. The two of you are bonded for life. You take a few careful steps towards him, then wrap your arms around his waist, holding him close. He's tense at first, surprised at the sudden touch, but he relaxes his long, sinewy arms wrapped around you, his massive hands curling their long fingers around your back and shoulders. The membranes under his arms fold around you like bat wings, pulling you closer to his chest. He smells metallic and unnatural, the iron stink of blood heavy in the air, the rapidly cooling liquid soaking into your clothes as you hold him. You did what you had to do. Rhys.
I'm glad you understand.
There's a creak on the stairs above you. Wayne.
Come along, Karen. Don't waste another second talking to it. It's unstable.
Rhys.
You're real.
Wayne.
I am. Better get running.
What? Sorry. I know that Rhys has said, I know your voice, and also the you're real, and I just have so many questions about that, but we'll probably not find out until future chapters. Pure terror in his eyes, Rhys scrambles through the window and bounds off into the wilderness, his smears pouring out after him. Wayne.
Shall we?
Karen. You'd better not hurt him. I care about him. Wayne.
You shouldn't. There's no telling what it'll do now that it's loose. You'd do best to keep your distance.
Karen. Just out of curiosity. What is he? Wayne.
A mistake.
What does that mean? You follow Wayne out of the clinic and back onto Main Street. No. Sorry, I'm trying to decide. There's so many things here where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, to Pow, I actually kind of agree. Let's go with Karen. Did you know Rhys was like that? Wait.
I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time.
Karen. Don't you lay a finger on him. Do you hear me? Wait.
You've gotten so attached to him. What a shame. I don't suspect he's long for this world. Even if I don't put him out of his misery, someone else will, eventually. I'm sure your infatuation will fade with time.
Well, now she's mad, so they're gonna continue in silence back to the estate. Wait.
I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around. Too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well.
He disappears into the underbrush. estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. I mean, pastel berries, like, technically he did that here too, to be clear. It's just that your character doesn't actually witness it. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you. At least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Rhys, out there in the woods somewhere, blood-stained, free and beautiful. And then you think of nothing. And that's the end of Scarlet Hollow episode 4 of the Karen run. Woof. I am glad to have finally had a chance to, like, explore the monster lover, like, Rhys romance route, though. So, basically, the implication is that Rhys is, emotionally unstable, essentially. Like, he's not fully human, he's not fully monster, he's something in between. And like, if you talk more with his mother, it's clear that when this happens to him, he, like, when he goes monster form, he loses himself. And in that loss of self, he starts thinking in ways that are intrinsically monstrous. And so he becomes convinced that, like, he says a lot when you were, like, in the house running from him in other versions, along the lines of, like, you know, if she's been doing this to me, who's to say she hasn't been doing this to other people? And, like, we'll all be better off. Basically, he becomes convinced that, oh, fair enough. Okay. Nope, pastel berries, you make a very good point. So, yes, so he has become convinced that his mother must be destroyed. And because he is an emotionally unstable monster, I think it's just the best way he can think of to kill her. And I mean, maybe also whatever he is thirsts for flesh and blood, like, you know, thirsts for human blood and or flesh. Like, it could be intrinsic to his monster self to eat people. But I think brutalizing her is because he's in monster rage mode. So, like, I think the torturing, like, the brutal aspect is him expressing literally monstrous levels of rage. But eating her, I think the cannibalism part, hard to say, but if I had to guess, I think it's just because it is whatever his monstrous self is just, maybe there is a craving there, like a cannibalistic craving there. So yes. Anyway, so that was the end of what exists so far for the Karen run. Whew. Alright, I'm pretty sure, so next Monday, I think, actually, if I don't find another time to do it this week, next Monday I might do, just another, Slay the Princess stream before I get into the Good Cousin run, but, if next week will either be Slay the Princess, or it will be the first, installment of my 4th run of Scarlet Hollow, the Good Cousin run, where the main goal is to be best friends with Tabitha. Oh, you know what? Tapao also makes an interesting point. He could have been trying to get rid of the body. It is a nice, elegant way of leaving no evidence behind. Maybe not elegant, maybe elegant was the wrong word there. Convenient. Let's go with a convenient. You know, if he is a monstrous entity capable of eating people, that's a quick way to get rid of the body. Anyway, that's really distressing. Oh, Tapao, don't worry, I have long since unlocked hard mode. Oh, whoops, yep, I already saved. So... is right here. I am considering doing a 5th run in hardcore mode, but we will get there when we get there. If next week is not Slay the Princess, it will be Good Cousin Run Part 1, Episode 1. If it is not, and if I don't do Good Cousin Run Episode 1 next week, it'll be the week after. So I should be good for the next several Mondays. Though I am going to miss a couple weeks in May. But other than that, I should be good to go. So. Well, fair enough, Tapao. Are you doing that on stream or off stream? And by the way, Tapao also streams a lot of, Tapao is my friend and fellow streamer who also plays, sometimes has played a fair bit of Scarlet Hollow on stream. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, Pastel Berries. It was really nice meeting you. And thank you, Box Puppy, for hanging around, and to Pau for tuning in, and anyone else who was watching or lurking, or anyone else who who is watching this later. As always, I appreciate you all very much. And so my full upcoming stream schedule is, I should be good for, let me just double check that. Yes, I should be good for this Friday, doing my Earthbound beginning stream, aka Mother, on Friday afternoon, and then I think probably, multiplayer streams are kind of up in the air, but like hopefully we'll be doing a multiplayer stream on Friday night, and then I will be back next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, to play more Black Tabby games. So, alright, bye everyone!